My husband wanted rice and chicken for dinner, so I decided to make him coconut rice from scratch. I started by parboiling the rice. While the rice was parboiling, I went ahead to put my chicken in my bowl and added a little bit of salt. After adding salt, I gave it a good mix with my hand, and then I set it aside for cleaning. And then I went ahead to check my rice. At this point it was about 5 minutes and my rice is well parboiled. I set it aside for washing, and then in a different pot I added my wash cleaned chicken. After adding my chicken, I went ahead to get ginger and garlic. I made sure the ginger and garlic was thoroughly cleaned, and then I proceed to get in my blender. In my blender I also added a red bell pepper. I added scotch bonnet pepper. So I added all the spices into my blender and I gave it a good blend, and this is what the mixture is looking like. I added the mixture into my chicken pot and added a little bit of thyme. I added a little bit of curry. I added a little bit of seasoning to taste, and then I added a little bit of salt as well. At this point, this is what my chicken is looking like, well seasoned. And I went ahead to proceed to blending my vegetables that I'll be using for the coconut rice. I started by adding onion, pepper and tomato into the blender, and then I gave it a rough blend. This is exactly how it's looking like. I didn't want it too smooth, and so I proceeded to open my coconut milk, and at this point I was tasty and needed to get a drink. As I was drinking, my toddler came and asked if she could have some. Story of my life. Of course I gave her some of my drink, and I proceeded to cooking. I checked my chicken. At this point the aroma is out of this world. Look at that beauty. So I went ahead to prep my chicken for the oven. My husband doesn't really like fried chicken. He preferred oven baked chicken instead. So I will be baking this chicken instead of frying today. So I proceeded to put my chicken into the oven. I brought out another pot. I added a little bit of vegetable oil, and then I proceeded to add in my roughly blended vegetables, the tomato, pepper and peppers. I added it into the pot. After adding it, I allowed it to fry. At this point I give it a gentle stir as it's frying. This is how it's looking right now. I proceeded to add in my chopped or diced beef into the pot. After adding my beef into the pot, I went ahead to ground my crayfish with my hand grater. After grating my crayfish, I added my crayfish into my pot. I went ahead to stir and cover the pot to allow it to fry a little bit. After some time, I added my chicken stock and stir and cover. I went ahead to add a little bit of thyme and curry and seasoning cube, and look at how this sauce is looking really nice. So I proceeded to add in my coconut milk. I gave it a stir, and at this point I tested to make sure everything was good. I added a cup of water to my pot, and again, this is how it's looking. I went ahead to cover it and allow it to boil. At this point, the water is boiling. Oops, I added my rice in the pot. I make sure everything was well combined together, and this is how my rice was cooking. I allowed my rice to cook for some time and then come back to, after 5 minutes, I used foil paper to cover my pot. This will allow the rice to gently cook without getting burnt. At this point, the rice is ready, and voila, this is what it's looking like. Yeah, so I just gave the rice a little stir. At this point, if you're still watching, please don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, and for more videos. And any moment from now, my husband will be at the door. Thank you for watching. Bye.